Pete's numbers. Cowboys will get the ball first. Jeff Wilkins kicking off. Brock Marion and Kevin Williams are back deep. Cowboys have beaten the Eagles 5 straight times, including 7 weeks ago when they defeated the Eagles 24-13 at Texas Stadium. Here's Kevin Williams. Dangerous on the kick return. Fine running by Kevin Williams as he gets to the 39-yard line. A 30-yard return. And it was the kicker, Jeff Wilkins, who finally brought him down.
You see Rodney Peete, where he's most effective has been to the wide receivers in terms of yardage. He's not gone to Novacek at all, and then Emmitt Smith out of the backfield for 2. But, I mean, a quiet day for Rodney Peete, and you expected that. You expected him to just throw the ball underneath, you can see, throw the jump balls to the wide receivers, and then just let Emmitt Smith run the football.
Cowboys have yet to lose this year when they've been leading at halftime, 7-0. First down on the 39-yard line. Peete to throw on first down, and is going to be sacked from behind.
But no fault of the offensive line, because he had all kinds of time to throw that football. This is a coverage sack. He's going to look downfield, and a nice adjustment made by the defense. You can see they're going to undercut this wide receiver where he's looking and play over the top with the corner. And then look at the time to throw up here. And when he can't throw it downfield, then Harmon gets the sack.
Bert Grossman, who's been nursing a bruised knee, and Andy Harmon have both combining on the sack. 6th sack for Grossman. Second down and 11. The pitch goes to Emmitt Smith with Nate Newton and Darrell Johnston blocking in front, and a gain of 4 yards. Britt Hager on the stop.
And Britt Hager came flying up through the middle to take away the inside, and he ends up getting in on the play. But what he's going to do is he's going to see that hole open up inside. And then once he sees it, heck, once you've committed, you got to stay with it. Runs right by Derek Kennard, and then he has good enough speed to make that tackle on the other side.
Third down and 7. So the Eagles defense can make the statement here in the first series of the second half. Peete looks one way, throws to the other, nearly picked off by Eric Allen on the other side, intended for Michael Irvin.
Boy, that was nice by Eric Allen. Nice anticipation and a great job of reading the route. I mean, he read that thing before Peete had a chance to read it. That's how he's going to play off. He's taking away the inside. He's inviting him to go out, and then you make the break. You see, what you do is you make it one-dimensional. You take the outside or inside completely away, and you force the defender to go out, and that's when you make your break.
John Jett will kick it away, and Jeff Seidner back for the Eagles. And not a good kick.
And there's a call on the
roughing the kicker. Or running into the kicker. It'll be one of the two. Jett gets up limping. See if Derek Oden got it.
We have running into the kicker. 5-yard penalty. It is not an automatic first down. It is still 4th down.
So I think Jett may have to stay out there anyway.
They come running up the middle. Otis Smith takes the block of Bates. And then I think you got to hand him one of those
Oscars.
Yeah, that's what they're called. Those Oscars they give to him.
I think Bailey brushed him at worst. So it's 4th down. They'll mark the penalty off, and Jett is going to kick again because it is not an automatic first down. So Seidner will go back deep once more. He'll be 2 yards short of the first down after they mark it off. Cowboys trying to wrap up the NFC East title for the 3rd straight year and get a big bye, which they're looking for in the playoffs. That snap bounced, but Jett gets off a beauty. Will send Seidner back inside his 5, where he makes the catch. He should have let it bounce, and Seidner is trapped inside the 10-yard line. So bad judgment. Normally, the alert Jeff Seidner. And Dixon Edwards brings him down. Bad field position for Philadelphia. Jeff Seidner, who inadvertently made the catch on the punt inside the 5 instead of letting it bounce maybe into the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah, well, a punt return, you got to set your feet on those in that 10-yard line, and if it goes over your head, hey, you take your chances. And with that penalty, that's a 27-yard penalty in field position for the Eagles.
Who will start from their 10. There for James Joseph. The Eagles have gone exclusively with James Joseph and Herschel Walker at running back. We have not seen Charlie Garner, their leading runner, or Vaughn Hebron in the backfield. Normally they have used an array of running backs.
Yeah, well, they went to this set for a couple of reasons. I think the biggest reason is to start helping in the pass protection. Both those guys, Hebron 45 and Garner 25.
Second down and 10. David on the sidelines watching so far. James Joseph for a couple, and that'll bring up 3rd and long.
Well, Russell Maryland just blew through the gap. And that's what this defense is based upon. It's penetration between these two guys. Russell Maryland, 67, right up here. Watch him as he just takes the gap. Just shoots right inside. They try to block down, and Thompson, they can't get there. And where he doesn't make the tackle, he certainly makes the play. Russell Maryland, he's one of those guys always working hard. He never stops. They double him. He just keeps on trying to work up the field, and that's the core of that defense.
Eagles 4 for 9 on 3rd down conversion. They need 7 yards. Cunningham's throw. Incomplete. He was going for Barnett. And Larry Brown covering, but the pass was thrown behind Fred Barnett, and so Brian Barker will have to kick from his own end zone.
I don't think Fred's too happy. I think they're pretty mad at each other right there. That was one of timing, and the ball was in the air before he made his break, and it hit the ground before he had a chance to make the catch.
Boy, when the Eagles were a hot team, and they were for a while, Cunningham to Barnett was a great combination. Barker the kick, Kevin Williams looking to give Dallas good field position. He bobbles the ball. And it's recovered by the Cowboys. And they are close to midfield. Very nearly suffered their 2nd turnover of the game. And Matt Millett, Veteran Stadium. Cowboys lead the Eagles, and they have had the edge in starting field position, their own 37. And they will begin from their own 47-yard line. They have scored the only 2 touchdowns in the game. Smith running up the middle. Got tripped up first by Bill Romanowski and picks up 6. Right now for a McDonald's game break. Let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
All right, Dick, a seesaw battle back in Tampa Bay. Heath Schuler, 2 big passes on the day. Here's the second one, 77 yards to Orlando Truitt. We've got an exciting one. Redskins out in front in the 3rd, 21-17. Let's go back to Dick and Matt.
Kind of a seesaw affair in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, no give up in both of those teams.
Second down and 4 on the Eagle 47. Pitch goes to Smith with Moose Johnston blocking, and he does his job, and so does Emmitt Smith. And he gains 17 yards to the 30-yard line. Michael Zordich makes the tackle.
And that's a good job of that offensive line and Darrell Johnston getting back out there. Watch the offensive line go to work. This is the mainstay of the Dallas Cowboys. You see Big Nate Newton pulling outside 61. He does a good job of whirling that rear end and sealing this up. And then Darrell Johnston seals back inside. And when you get guys blocking like that, it's really unfair. You got 3 guards of that team. Kennard, Nate Newton, and Darrell Johnston.
They go again to Emmitt Smith. Not this time. And a loss on the play. Close to it. Andy Harmon got in there in a hurry. Emmitt Smith has gained 70 yards on 13 carries and has scored a touchdown.
Big Nate Newton talking to Nate last night. That's another one of those guys whose mind is always in the game. He's always figuring things out. You know, and what he told me, the biggest difference with him now, as opposed to years earlier, he doesn't always try to come out and pound you. Now he'll try to whirl you. He says, the game has changed, and I have to adapt to it. I think he's done a good job.
Changes up every now and then. 2nd and 10. Pete swings it out to Emmett. Emmett Smith inside the 30. Another first down, and inside the 10-yard line, where a flag is thrown.
But at Darrell Johnson, he shows up all the time. This time in the passing game, a nice block outside, which springs Smith down the sideline for an even bigger gain.
5-yard face mask. Number 29, defense. Half the distance to the goal. From the end of the run, 1st and goal.
Time to throw. Can't find a guy. Goes to his checkoff downfield. Now watch Darrell Johnson. First, there's Michael Irvin getting away, and then right here, boink. Takes out the safety, and that allows Smith to pick up another 10 yards.
Mark McMillan on the face mask.
Yeah, well, when you grab it, make sure you grab it good. He tried to get it off, but too late. They'd already called it.
1st and goal now for the Cowboys on the 3. Extra defensive lineman up front for the Eagles. And the give, touchdown, Emmett Smith, his 2nd of the game. And how easy did that look?
Well, I'll tell you, when you're following Darrell Johnson's blocks, that's 3 straight plays. He's made big blocks for Emmett Smith. And this time he just takes the outside linebacker, Romanowski, right out of the play, and he just take it right in. Again, I think sometimes it's unfair to have an extra guard in the back. Watch 48 right here. See this? And then big Nate Newton, and that's just a convoy. And when you get that kind of movement off the defensive front 7, you're going to score.
Chris Bonio for the extra point with Jay Novacek the holder. And the kick is good. The Dallas Cowboys now lead it 21-6. So the good field position paid off for Dallas. And Emmett Smith now with touchdown number 19 on the year. Boys lead the Eagles 21-6. Emmett Smith with his 2nd touchdown and his 19th rushing touchdown sets a new club record. Back in '92, he had 19 touchdowns as well. And Rodney Peete doing the job at quarterback in place of Troy Aikman, who the Cowboys hope to get back next week. Herschel Walker on the return. Walker shakes a few defenders. And a great return by Walker close to midfield. Bill Bates complaining to the official. 39-yard return, and Brock Marion made the tackle finally.
Bates is complaining, and he got held. Now, special teams, so much of it is desire, which Bates has always had. And then you run through the first block, and then that's a clip. Odin hit him in the back, and that should have been called, but it wasn't, so they got away with one.
Bates argued to no avail. First down, Eagles on their 46, trailing 21-6. Pass is tipped. Incomplete as Cunningham trying to go up the middle. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Philadelphia Eagles and the National Football League is prohibited. Rodney Peete doing his job today, making his first start. Cunningham fires the pass, caught by Calvin Williams, and a first down into Cowboy territory, and a pickup that time of 13.
You know, actually, quietly, the Eagle offensive line has done a pretty good job. And they've provided enough time for Cunningham to make those throws. And I think the only thing that's really killed the Eagles today has been penalties. Penalties have just been a stab in the heart.
Heard him in the first quarter when the Cowboys scored. Heard him here when they gave Dallas good field position. First down, play action. Cunningham can't find a receiver, and that was a coverage sack for Tony Colbert.
Completely. That was a 2-receiver route, and there were 5 defenders back. And that's tough. I mean, they sell